minor league baseball players are subject to poor working conditions because why? The Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938 designates them as seasonal apprentices under the law. Well, because they're team controlled for 7 years, because they're considered interns or seasonal apprentices, they're given the treatment that is designated for them, which is just $45 to $75 per game. That's it. So their employer, right, the Texas Rangers, makes $1 billion a year, and they're allowed to treat their minor leaguers this way because that's just how things are, right? The law itself is set up so that minor league baseball players don't have equal representation under the law. So the Save America's Pastime Act is the justification of that ruling, saying that minor leaguers are not subject to overtime or minimum wage. Well, why? Because Major League Baseball lobbied Congress to make that happen. And so I took all of this. I just got released. I took all of this and I said, like, okay, let's take a step back and let's understand, like, what needs to be done in minor league baseball today? What needs to be done today? I can help my friends get a case of bats. I can help my friends get shoes. I can help my friends get equipment. Okay, how can we scale that up? We can build programs that aren't put in place within Major League Baseball organizations. Financial guidance and mental health and education and career services and off-season jobs, and build a community that can support the minor league baseball players that are there. And so we've had tremendous success because of just how we speak about baseball. We love baseball and we want it to be better, and we're supporting minor league baseball players because they need support. And people go, oh, that makes sense. They get paid very little. This program is meant to make them a better athlete, a better person on and off the field. It's supposed to help set up a network to support them during and after their careers. It's incredibly valuable that this organization exists, because if they didn't exist, nothing would be there to support them. And so for lawmakers to say that paying them more would put minor league clubs out of business, number one, no, because major league teams pay minor league baseball players' salaries. Okay, that's the rebuttal. No, but 46 teams, 42 teams were just cut by Major League Baseball because they wanted to shrink the pool of minor league baseball. Why? So they could focus more of their resources on the players left over. They wanted to shrink the draft. They're cutting dead skin. From a business decision, I understand that. From an economic decision, I understand that. From a baseball decision, I don't like that. Because what you did is you took baseball out of 42 communities that had it. You took baseball, which had 40 rounds and opportunities for guys like me to get drafted in the 31st round, and cut it down to 20 rounds. You're making professional baseball less accessible for baseball fans and for youth community, youth kids coming up, where there's less spots for them now. There's less spots for them to have these experiences, less spots for them to make the big leagues. The major leagues aren't just made up of first through fifth rounders. There are percentages of guys from the 20th to 40th rounds that fill those spots, that play important roles in organizations. So to cut that and just say, we're trimming the fat, people are not understanding, like, these players are valuable to their communities. These teams are valuable to the identity of many of these towns. And so we roll with the punches, and we make sure that we bring a youth camp, or we can do something in those towns that are now college summer league and not minor league baseball. Like, we're doing what we can to support organizations that lost revenue and that lost the opportunity to have that baseball. And so as a community and as a team, we're doing what we can to kind of make up for that. We're not built to give direct financial assistance to minor league baseball players. I never wanted to take in money and say, hey, players, here's $700 of direct financial assistance. What happened, though, is that COVID came and players were forced home, and we didn't know if they were going to be paid. And Major League Baseball players wanted to help. And Adam Wainwright said, I'm going to give $250,000 to More Than Baseball to help distribute to Cardinals minor leaguers. And we had a conversation with Adam and the general manager and Major League Baseball was okay with it. And everyone was like, yeah, okay, well, they can do this. So we did that. Daniel Murphy of the Rockies at the time, he just retired, gave $100,000. Max Scherzer and Ryan Zimmerman and Sean Doolittle and the Washington Nationals collectively donated $30,000. The Colorado Rockies collectively donated $25,000. More Than Baseball was able to take Major League Baseball players who wanted to help and build a network of support for minor leaguers that was never there before. And that's really important when you're a minor league baseball player and you're in a line of fire every single day because you go to the field thinking that you're going to get cut. And for someone to say, More Than Baseball is there to support you during and after your careers, that is ultimately going to ease stress. Is it going to lead to better performance? No, that comes with helping get them a mattress, helping get them better equipment, have better nutrition, because they're going to be able to focus on their recovery and their development and therefore perform better on the field and develop in the off season. So we are a nonprofit, yes, doing programs. We are, but we are also a tool for player development. The teams can use us and players can use us to help improve their quality of life and therefore their performance.
What would have More Than Baseball meant to you if it would have existed when you were a minor league player?
When I was cut from the Mets, I got drafted in 2016, played 2016, 2017, got released at the end of 2017. In October, I had a herniated disc at the end of the season. It slid wrong, something popped. I got released before I could walk yet. And I got the phone call, hey, Jeremy, thanks for your time with the Mets. We're going to have to release you. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Again, honored for the opportunity to play for my favorite team growing up. We're all grateful for the opportunity to play professional baseball. That being said, the system itself is not set up for success. It's set up in fear and individuality, and that's just the way things are. But for me to go, okay, I got released. Where I was like, what the hell do I do now? Luckily, I had a college degree. Luckily, I had a network of support behind me. Luckily, I could get healthy and live at home still and just try to get back on my feet. But with More Than Baseball, it's like, okay, if I was in the shoes now and I got released, and I would say, okay, what is there to support me? More Than Baseball, oh, I can do office hours to help build me a resume. Oh, I need a resume. I can talk to somebody that they can put me in touch with. Okay, great. What about a LinkedIn? How do I leverage LinkedIn to build connections as a former professional baseball player? Okay, I love playing video games. So what about, I personally don't. I still play like my Nintendo 64, but like guys that are on Twitch and say like, okay, I'm a professional baseball player and I have like 30 followers on Twitch and I'm starting to do it, whatever. Well, More Than Baseball is building up a Twitch platform so that we can get minor league baseball players together with fans and major leaguers to help leverage opportunities and actually help pay these guys for appearances or for virtual events, build up their platform online. Okay, what about, I love doing youth camps. I love coaching kids. More Than Baseball is hosting youth camps across the country. We're going to pay minor leaguers for their time, probably a third or half of what they would make during the season in 1 week or one weekend. And so More Than Baseball is creating opportunities to help support players during and after their career.
And all of those opportunities and just ideas that started popping into your head, how would you say your communication degree at Trinity factored into your ability to start doing all these things?
How did my communication degree help me? Understanding what to say in certain situations. Like basically being Dr. Henderson and Dr. Delwich, like professors like grilling us on the right ways to say things in certain situations for years, made me understand that I have to sell More Than Baseball as more than just this aid. We are not a charity. And so how can I sell supporting players? How can I get major league players who have a few years ago who would have never touched this? And how can we talk about baseball in such a way where Major League Baseball would be, number one, okay, okay with it, promote us on social media, though the irony is there. The Philadelphia Phillies saw the cleats last night from Reese Hoskins. We make custom cleats with Major League Baseball players. We donate them for auction. We put them up for auction for donations. They tweeted about it saying it supports minor league baseball players through the work of More Than Baseball. So if we were trying to fight everybody, we were trying to argue, if we were just out there screaming from the rooftops, we would have gotten nothing done. But instead we took a step back and said, like, what are some things that I can do today to make sure baseball is better tomorrow? More Than Baseball's taken that approach, and I have taken that approach because I understood for years at Trinity, the easiest way to get things done is to just say it as simply and as straightforward as possible. We just want everybody to be friends, and we want everybody to work together. We want to make sure that, like, the future of baseball is protected. You can do that through us. The more major leaguers that partnered and supported us publicly, the more they understood that there was nothing more that they could do to stop us from pursuing this further. The more we got minor league players on board, last year before the pandemic, we were at about 900. Now we're at about 2,800 players. 1,200 or so have gotten direct financial assistance through More Than Baseball. Another, 150 or so are ambassadors of More Than Baseball. And then we have like a group of like 80 Major League Baseball players who are in constant communication with us, who do custom cleats with us, who wear them during games, who promote us on social media, who talk about us on TV. Pete Alonso last year did a pair of custom cleats with us for the Saturday day game for the Fox Network. So Ken Rosenthal was on the field, and Kevin Burkhardt was in the announcer's booth, and they go down to Pete Alonso and they said, and I can't, of course this would happen. The mic was broken, and they talked to him. They started talking to him with like 2 outs in the 6th inning. But they're like, what cleats are you wearing today? And he goes, oh, I'm wearing cleats supporting More Than Baseball. They're an organization that helps minor league baseball players. And that was like unbelievable. The Wainwright donation, Pete coming out this year going, I'm going to sell an NFT. Oh, I'm going to give half of it to More Than Baseball. We're like, thanks, Pete. Let's do more. Like, let's do more. Let's build more connections with fans. Like, let's do more things. And so we've built it in such a way where players are comfortable coming to us, comfortable thinking about us, comfortable wearing cleats, and supporting minor leaguers in the only way that they are able to and know how. That's just by playing baseball.
How does that make you feel to see these biggest names of baseball supporting a cause that you started?
Feels really good. Like, that logo on the back of their cleats is a logo that I made in the library on the 3rd floor on one of the computers near facing the water tower. And I just kind of go back to that moment. This is like 2019. I like used Rafe Chomet's login to use the Google. This was 2018. I used Rafe Chomet's login to use like the system, because the system at the library is super fast, right? I was like, oh, I'm not going to do this in my house. I'm going to do this with the library, right? And I was like, I got this great idea for a logo, home plate, greater than sign, More Than Baseball. People will get it right away. Perfect. And then to see that cleat at Fenway Park, Yankee Stadium, Citi Field, in the World Series twice, starting Game 6 of the World Series on Tony Gonsolin's shoes. Like, I'm in the thick of it every day. I got lists and lists of things to do. When I take a step back and go, we were in the World Series? That's amazing. How do we do that? Goodwill. Literally, like, talking about baseball the right way, doing the right things. And why do we include everybody? Not trying to find anybody, but like doing the things that we needed to get done so that Tony Gonsolin wore our cleats starting Game 6 of the World Series. He's going to look back at his time in baseball and go, remember when I started a game in the World Series? Look at the cleats I was wearing. And we donated these to help More Than Baseball? What? And so, like, it takes a team effort to get people to understand. So, like, Slade Heathcott, Simon Rosenblum Larson, like, the co-founders of More Than Baseball, like we work so closely together, the team of experts we have, like the advisors we have, the board of directors we have, like time at Trinity, it took an entire team to win a national championship, to get cleats on Tony Gonzalez's feet in the World Series and to do the things that we do. I'm unbelievably proud of like the team and the thing that we have built doing this.
Well, you mentioned that it is sometimes hard to take a step back and look at where you've gotten. But now you've gotten some of the biggest names. You're in the most iconic ballparks in Major League Baseball. So what is next for you and More Than Baseball? What are your goals in the upcoming future?
I want More Than Baseball to be an MLB The Show. We're close. We talked about it before. But we really don't have like goals, right? We do. We want to help support every single player. We want every player to automatically come to us when they get signed, when they get drafted. We want Major League Baseball to go, you got released, go to More Than Baseball. They'll be able to support you. We want to have consistent funding for our programs, education, financial guidance, mental health coaching. I want a player to go, I need mental health coaching. Do you have the ability? Yes, absolutely. As many as you need, we have this for you. Sometimes players are a little weary about going to the mental health coach on their team. They may not trust it. It may add to their stress. They may not like that person. They may not connect. So we want to give them resources that they can use to help benefit them. Ultimately, I want to have like a facility. I want it to be youth clinics. I want to have batting cages. I want guys to come in the off season. I want classrooms. I want dorms. I want a field in the backyard. I want my guys to get released. They come through us. I want them to do showcases on that field to get re-signed. These are big goals of ours, but like we are living the goal right now. Doing cleats and having Phillies tweet at us last night and having it on a big league field. And I turn on the World Series and I see my logo on cleats and I see More Than Baseball in this, talked about this. I see people talking about More Than Baseball and they go, More Than Baseball, and they don't explain what it is, as if people already know what it is. That, like, what? Ugh. That's the goal, man. That's it. So I am unbelievably proud, and I am living that dream every single day. I have the best job in the world.